Let us not dawdle, for there are grudges to settle, and new entries in the Dammer's Cron to right!
Howdy, howdy, Silva here, and welcome to an online ladder battle featuring the Dwarfs versus the Dark Elves, played by a Boss, a friend of the channel, and if you have gone over to his channel, he has a lot of awesome games. He's world-class, one of the top Warhammer players in the world. He has amazing builds, loves playing the Dwarfs, and is very dwarfy, and him and I we've been talking for months and months, but we're definitely going to be getting together to do a series featuring the Dowie, and as we were sort of talking back and forth, trying to get our schedules sent in, he said, send me this game, it's replayed, said, watch it, you'll like it, so I thought I'd put it up, and it's fantastic. So, Aurora Boss, if you watch his channel, he really loves Iron Drakes with the Trollhammer Torpedo, and he has 3 of those, and Umaze, who, if you've read, his Dwarf guide has a huge recommendations for Iron Drakes with Trollhammer Torpedoes, and I am going to be putting these into some of my builds. I think, sneaking them in slowly but surely. In this build, we have 3 Iron Drakes with Trollhammer Torpedoes, and we have the Flame Cannon, which is going to be very fun to watch. For the main part of Aurora Boss's front line, he has got 6 Longbeards, just regular Longbeards, and they are really just to allow his backline to go to work. And for his leader, he has a regular Rune Lord, just naked, nothing else, no runes, no nothing, coming in at 850 gold, I believe. He does have the Peak Gate Guard, who do have armor sundering and do magic damage, and he has a unit of hammers here and a unit of hammers here. So very powerful sort of backline, and some nasty ranged when you get in close. Really guarded by sort of this front line of Longbeards that really can hold out for quite some time. Now for this other, for the Dark Elf player, he does have 2 units of Dark Riders Vanguard deployed over here. And this is the Dark Elves do this quite a bit actually. And he has 2 units of Harpies deployed over here. And you've seen in games where I've tried to catch Dark Elf players out, because they do have a lot of units that can do that Vanguard deploy. For his main army, I believe he has 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, or no. He has 4 Hargoneth Executioners and 3 Bleak Swords. These Bleak Swords, obviously with the Chivalrous Shields, just to go up and take some damage. And he does have 3 Dark Shards, who do have armor-piercing missile damage, which are a good choice versus the Dowie. And for his leader, he has Malekith on a chariot, and Malekith has pretty light load, just stand your ground, plus 27 melee defense, plus 16 leadership. He has Soul Stealer, which damages combatants and heals Malekith. He does have Word of Pain for the minus 44 melee attack. It's only 8 winds of magic, and every time he casts map wide, the enemy has minus 15 armor. He also has Murderous Prowess, and he causes fear, and he has physical resistance of 20%. So we'll get this show on the road, and I really like this build, and I've watched Aurora Boss play lots of his live streams. Are fantastic. He plays a lot more than just the Dwarves, but he has a very deliberate style that if you like Dwarf play, you will love watching him play. So first of all, he's just going to bring everything out here, just sort of get into position. He kind of sees this army pulling up, and obviously he can see the Harpies over here. Still cannot see the cavalry back here, obviously, because they're hidden. And he's sort of just going to push out, decide where he wants to make contact, and which targets he's going to go for first. And you can see the Flame Cannon has a very short range. I think it's only 230. What do we got? 230 range. But it is absolutely devastating. So some of the shots coming in right now, it's got 5,600 health, down to 5,000 health in one sort of partial shot. And you can see the Flame Cannon is just going to go to work. Swing and a miss there, unfortunately. Come on, boys. Come on, boys. Let's get this shot in there. Oh, is he going to go after this guy? Down to 4,700 health here. One shot, and you can see he's coming up here again. Second volley in. Look at that damage. Down to 2,800 health. And this Bleak Swords are ready to rout. These guys are I don't know why they're balling up in a square, but they are definitely going to pay for it. One volley down to 4,200 health. That flame cannon just does so much damage. You can see your worker boss here is now just trying to push this out, give himself a little bit of space. He's really just slowly pushing out, and he's protecting everything with hammers. His big hitters, he's got these longbeards in the back, just slowing things up. He's now coming after these Harganeth executioners. He wants to just push him in, and Orc Boss has a kind of a method he uses. He'll try and get his Longbeard sort of sideways like that to catch the edge of the Harganeth executioners. But look at the damage these guys are taking. This is unbelievable from these Iron Drakes. Just unbelievable. A full health units of Harganeth executioners fundamentally demolished. But these guys do take a ton of time to reload. Another group of Harganeth executioners coming in, getting absolutely obliterated. Finally, the Harpies are in, and now these cavalry coming in and really going to shut down those flame cannons. But Workabot being very patient and not moving his troops out. He's got his leadership back here. He's got his peak gate guard. He's ready to take that engagement, and he's going to push off and he's going to push back in. He's got the Longbeards up against the Bleak Swords here. They're going to do just fine, and he's just really trying to take care of the Harpies, find those good targets. You can see he's got targeted into these guys now, and these Harganeth executioners, 3,100 health. Another volley, 2,600 health. They got stand your ground, but it is not going to matter. The Trollhammer torpedoes are doing so much damage. Now, the Dark Elf player is going to come in and really try to go after the Iron Drake's Trollhammer torpedoes, if he can get to them, and really, Orc Boss are trying to get out to the Bleak Swords, and trying to push these guys out a little bit, but not much you can do there. Harpies are in. These Dark Riders in, got another shot into these Bleak Swords, but the Dark Riders have managed to come in and shut down the flame cannon from the backside. These Harpies are kind of being pushed out. These guys, these hammers, I don't know what exactly is on them, but the hammers are trying to protect the Iron Drakes. The Iron Drakes can just go ahead and shoot. And these Dark Shards are trying to come in, and maybe they're going to get shots against hammers. I'm not really sure what their target is right now. Oh yeah, just going after the Iron Drakes. So really, here come the Dark Riders coming in. We've got, I think, another Soul Stealer is going to be unleashed here. With we got Malekith in here. So yep, that's a Soul Stealer, and you can see the Iron Drake Trollhammer torpedoes are just coming in. They're aiming on Malekith. Malekith has 2,100 health. He is being healed. In comes another volley down to 2,100 health, and you can just watch. These things do so much damage with every volley they get. Now, Malekith has been able to come in and get some damage done. You can see they are trying to stop the Trollhammer torpedoes, but the Trollhammer torpedoes are still firing. One volley with the two of them now down to 825 health. Just incredible, and he rouched just like that. Now, he did have the peak gate guard there, and he did have other pressure on him, but these Trollhammer torpedoes, fantastic. So now Malekith is trying to find a way out. The Harpies have got into these Trollhammers. Really, the Longbeards are doing their job out here, just pushing and holding out here. They do got Harganeth executioners. I'm not sure why they're coming back out this way, but they are. And the peak gate guard and the Rune Lord are handling these Harganeth executioners, and Malekith is routing away. And we do have these guys have come back. The Trollhammer torpedoes here, and the other Trollhammer torpedoes are sort of being held down. Now, they are pretty robust because they do have a lot of armor, so anything that's not armor piercing, like these Dark Riders, are not going to be able to get a whole lot done. You can see they're just going to sit there and shoot into the Harganeth executioners in the back, and you can see now a lot of this front part has sort of been resolved and pushed out, but really there's been a constant space here where our Worker Boss has been able to push out and being able to maintain some pressure. The Harganeth executioners are in here along with the Harpies, and again, you can see what he's doing. He's just pushing in his troops like that, the hammers, and pushing out the Harganeth executioners. Again, just trying to make that swap so he can get good shots against the Harpies and the Harganeth executioners. Malekith is coming back, trying to get some, I imagine trying to get off another Soul Stealer, but you can see here, Orc Boss does see that. He wants to send his Longbeards after, and he does want to get a shot in and try and put down Malekith. Malekith is definitely really low leadership. -1, he gets a few shots in, and now he is shattered. And that is it for Malekith. He is shattered. The rest of the army here is sort of everything is sort of resolved in here, and now it's time for a Rook Boss. You can sort of redo his lines, chase off these harpies. Out here, though, there's still a lot more to go. So he's going to pull in his main troops and really get everything he can consolidate over here, and he's going to let these Longbeards do the good work of just dealing with what's out here. The Harganeth Executioner's out here. We have 72 out of 75 models, basically full health. A lot of ammo with these Dark Shards. And these Longbeards are only got 26 speed, but they're going to chase after these Dark Shards with 33 speed and just try and push them out so that Rook Boss can get the rest of his troops online and sort of come up as a group and really face into these Dark Shards as a full army. And he's just really, these Longbeards are paying the price so for the rest of their mates just to push everybody out here and keep everyone going while a Rook Boss gets the rest of his army sort of settled and ready to go. These guys are going to, Harganeth Executioners are going to make it to the sidelines and be off the battlefield. Now we've got the Flame Cannon back online. Does have 10 ammunition left. You can start shooting at these Dark Shards. Again, one of the beauties of that Flame Cannon is it does cause a penalty to leadership of being burnt, and you can see he's got 9 leadership. It's really doing a number on these Dark Shards, and really just Rook Boss is just trying to keep pushing up his army to try and manage these guys, and he wants to sort of get them in a ball or get them together. So you can see he's just picking and selecting his targets. He's, maybe he's going to go for this guy. He just wants to hold these guys in place so he can get a shot on him with his Flame Cannon. Then he gets into the Harganeth Executioners, and you can see the Flame Cannon is shooting, just picks off the edge. But really, it's a matter of time before the rest of his army sort of makes it up into a key area. These Longbeards do not have the ability to face down Harganeth Executioners, but you can see the leadership penalty here on these Dark Shards. They are routing because they got shot, and now he's just slowly going to work his army up one full bit at a time. And this is one of the things I love about a Rook Boss's play. Very patient. Just look at this army. Very structured. He's ready to face whatever's going to come. Like he's really, the Longbeards had to make the ultimate sacrifice for the rest of the army to function, but the rest of the army is good to go, and they're going to be coming up together. Now the Flame Cannon has a few more shots left. He's going to aim at the Harganeth Executioners. Really just wants to hit them and debuff them, kill a few models. And how many shots does he have left? He has two shots left. And then they come against the Harganeth Executioners, 72 models, 71 models. So unfortunately, he's picking off the edge of the formation. I think, is that it for the Flame Cannon? The Flame Cannon has 0 shots left. Now really, it's time for the Dowie to just get into position and finish this. And you can see here comes the Iron Drakes. They still have plenty of ammo left. Now they shoot very slowly, but in the late game, if there's any left, just look at the damage they're going to do these Harganeth Executioners. Unbelievable. They can just tee off. They all have loads of ammo left. Like, I think the Iron Drake with the Trollhammer Torpedo might have the highest total damage potential of any Dwarf ranged unit. I was doing some testing on this, and they're just absolutely unbelievable. So really, in the late game, I mean, this guy's got 11 ammunition left with that many models. So picks them off, gets the right units, and finishes off this game. And, I think this is the hardest matchup for the Dowie. Some people do like this matchup a little bit better, probably depending on their experience. I know I've been crushed the worst by Dark Elves. And, talking to a Rook Boss, he says he feels like that's the hardest matchup for him as well. Just really depending on the situation. But I think that can be a really difficult matchup because the Dark Elves can abuse the Dwarfs pretty bad. But this build is a very nice build, and this is, sort of classic Rook Boss. And I know he's come back to Warhammer, and go to his channel, subscribe to him right now, and you'll see some content that we're going to do back and forth, Dwarf training or Dwarf Academy, I don't know. We're going to talk about exactly how we're going to do it. It's going to be really fun, but love the build. Just a naked Rune Lord, just for the leadership and the minimum costing Dwarf Lord you can get out in the field. 6 Longbeards. Longbeards are so strong at just holding that line, and some real power behind with the hammers. Now Longbeards are good. 0, 18, 7, 25, 84, and 69. Really, it was the hammers with 71, 57, and 70 protecting that back line. But these troll hammer torpedoes are unbelievable. 69, 88, and 16, and you could see how devastating their damage is. The reason why they're so powerful, aside from their arc of fire, which is one of the reasons I think Aurora Boss does like him. If you watch his channel, he talks about Iron Drakes from time to time. He does a lot of live streaming as well. And, that arc of fire, they can still shoot over things, unlike a flamethrower, which can't really shoot over things. And this flame cannon, which is super dangerous to build, to bring in case your opponent brings bolt throwers, but man, you could see the amount of damage that thing was doing. Like, he had to throw all his units in to try and stop that flame cannon from firing. He still got 90 kills, really demolished all the bleak swords. Fundamentally, they got 15, 5, and 3 because of this flame cannon. And these guys that got 24 and 32 were probably the ones that the flame cannon had picked on a little bit. The other two Harganath executioners were awesome because they are really strong in this matchup. 141 and 114 kills. The Dark Shards, 26, 29, and 20, great in this matchup as well. The Dark Riders, only 9 and 6, but they did really slow down the flame cannon. I think the Harpies are a little bit better choice, but 1 and 3 for them. And Malekith with 54 kills. Love this battle, and actually really excited about getting together with Aurora Boss. We've sort of talked back and forth, and for those of you who were, how it is when you try and get together. You work and you have a busy life, and you have your schedules just don't line up. I think our schedules are going to line up, and I think you guys are going to enjoy what we're going to do. I'm really excited about it. I know personally. So get over to Aurora Boss's channel, subscribe. There will be a link in the description. Say hello from Sue Devil, and comment in down below on what you thought of the build. Do you use Iron Drakes with Trollhammer torpedoes in your builds? What do you think of the flamethrowers? I know there's lots of you that love flamethrowers. I love flamethrowers. They're so fun to watch. And what did you think of the Dark Elf build? I mean, this is a pretty strong standard build. I thought it was really solid myself, but would love to hear from you in the comments. With that said, hope you found it interesting, and I will see you soon.